Today we're going to talk about finding a missing side in similar figures. Here we have 4 steps on how we're going to do this. First step is we match up corresponding sides. We do this by using the letters in the name of the shape, then we line them up underneath each other. Step 2 is we use the first and second letters in the name of the triangle. We color the line segments the same color for each triangle, use the second and third letters in the name of the triangle, color those line segments the same, and then use the first and third, or the last letter, and then color those the same. The third step, we are going to set up a proportion, which just means those two fractions that are equal to each other. And then step 4, we cross multiply and divide. So here's our first example. Step 1 says to write the names of the triangles and then line them up. So we are going to write A, B, C, and then we want to write the next set of letters right underneath them in the same order that they appear. So it would be E, F, G. So now we're going to color code. So I'm going to color code the first letter in each set of letters red. I'm going to color code the second letters blue and the third letters green. Now what I color coded to the side, I also need to color code on those triangles. So A was red, E was red, B was blue, F is blue, C is green, and so is G. Now step 2 says to color code the line segments. So that means the first to second. So we can say A to B, the first letter to the second letter, or if we want to go red to blue, that would also work. Since we're starting at red, I'm going to use red to color the line segment. Once I hit blue, I will have to change colors. So we start at red, we go down to blue. I hit blue, so now I have to change to blue. And I go to my third set, which is green, and then green up to my first starting one. Now I have to do that to my other triangle as well. So red to blue, blue to green, and green to red. So what that does is it matches up the sides so I know what two sides are equal to each other or proportional to each other. So I know that now AB is the same as EF. So let's write that. So I have A, B, and that is a line segment, so we have to have that little line over it, is similar to EF. And that is also a line segment, so I have to add the little line over it. Now I'm going to move on to the second one. So that would be B, C, and that's a line segment, so it needs a line over it, is similar to F, G. Line segment, so we put the line over it. And now we have our last one, C, A, line segment, similar to G, E. Wrong color. There we go. It's a line segment, so we put the line over it. Alright, so now we need to do step 3. We're going to set up a proportion. So that's just those two fractions. So we do side equals side, and there will be fractions that we get to fill in. Now we need to look up at the triangle. We have 4 sides given. We have 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is an M, which means we don't know it. We have to find it. So we need to line up our sides. That way we can find what M is equal to. So I'm going to do this with color coding. I'm always going to put the missing side up in that top right. It just makes the proportion easier later on. Now I need to match up the corresponding side. So we know that M is on the green line segment. So that means we need the other green line segment, which is 7. This is why color coding is so very important, so we can match up the correct sides. So since we have green as 7, we're going to put that one directly under the M. Now I do need to make a note. The M is in the bigger triangle, so this will be big triangle, and the 7 is in the small triangle. So that will definitely help us keep all our numbers in the right spot. So now I need to look at the other side that we were given, which in our case is the red side. So I know that I'm going to use 2 and I'm going to use 4. I just need to know where to place them down here in our proportion. So we look over what we just wrote, the big and small. So let's do the top one first. That's the big triangle. So we go up to the big triangle, which is here. The side we want is the red E to F, which is 4. So we're going to write 4 in red on the top. Then we're going to put the small, which is 2, right under it. And now we have our proportion, and we need to solve, because that's step 4, so we cross multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 divided by 2 equals 14. So we get M equals 14. Here's our second example. So the first step is to write the names of the triangles and line them up. So we have B, C, A, and D, E, F. Now I'm going to color code those according to step 2. So the first ones I like is red, second one's blue, and third one's green. Now we need to color code the actual letters. B was red, and D was red. E is blue, so C is blue. A and F are green. Now we need to color code the sides. I always start at that first letter. So in our case, it's red, B and D. And we go to the second letter, C and E, or blue. So we're going to go red to blue, red to blue. Once we hit blue, we have to change colors. Blue to green, blue to green. Now we hit green, so we got to change colors again. Green back to red, green back to red. So now we're going to match up the different line segments. So we have line segment is similar to another line segment. That's our first one. Then we have another line segment similar to another line segment. And our third one, line segment, similar to another line segment. Now let's fill in. We always start at the first letter, which was B. We went to blue next, which was C. So that's somewhere in the big triangle to D, E. Now into the second letter, C, A is similar to E, F. And the last one, A, all the way back to the first letter, B, is similar to F, D. Now I need to set up my proportion, which is the two fractions. So side equals a side. And we're going to plug in what we know. So the first thing I always like to start with is the missing side. So that you can tell that by the variable. So this one just has M. We have 5M, 2M, 4M. But this one is just M. So we don't know exactly what that is. So that's going to be our top right. And it is blue. Now we got to find the corresponding side to that. Since we know we're looking for the blue side, we go up to the other triangle and see the blue side up here is 2. So we're going to put that directly below it. Now we're giving one other side. In both triangles, it's the red side. But I don't know which one goes with which. So let's go back and look at the blue side. We know that M is in the bigger triangle. So we put big up top. 2 is in the smaller triangle, so we put small next to that. Now let's see if we can figure out that red side. 5 is in the big triangle, so it goes up top. 4 is in the small triangle, so it goes below it. Now we just need to cross multiply and divide. 5 times 2 is 10. Then we have to do 10 divided by 4. Let's go out to the side and figure that out. top in, bottom out. 4 goes into 10 2 times. That is 8. We subtract, get 2. We can add our decimal and a 0. Bring down that. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So we get m equals 2.5.